Good evening and welcome. My name is Patricia Lassard, and I'm a facilitator of an amazing program called Breakthrough Parenting. I want to thank you for being here and congratulate you on making the investment of both your time and your financial resources to participate in this life transforming uh, program. So today, we're going to start off with the first part of lesson one, and we're going to be defining the three types of parenting styles and see if you can identify which one you are, which one your parents were, which one your children's other parent is, and you'll maybe start to recognize some of the people. Then we're going to finish off today on the difference between discipline and punishment. So, this course is really about how to make all relationship work, especially those with our children. I found this is one of the best personal development courses around. I found it has been very transforming for myself. As a parent, it is our goal to strengthen families with the knowledge, skills, and insight that can move parents and their children forward in actualizing their full potential. Because isn't that what we want? We want our children to reach their full potential. There isn't a parent out there that wouldn't answer yes to the question, do you want your children to grow up responsible? Experts have frequently given parents some confusing and conflicting advice about raising children. Take something as simple as trying to get an 8-year-old to clean their room. How do you go about getting them to clean their room? Do you argue? Do you cajole? Do you teach them? What is your approach? So the first parenting style that we're going to discuss is permissive parenting. And this is an approach that assumes that children left to their own devices will eventually figure it out. And yes, in a way that they will. Will they learn it fast enough? Will they make some life-altering decisions that will make life more difficult for them if they had have been given some guidance? And let's face it, we're parents here for a reason, because we want to instill our love, knowledge, morals, ethics, and values onto our children, and just allowing them to just go out there and drift isn't really doing a whole lot of active parenting. Advocates of this method believe that children decide how to behave and learn from the consequences of their behavior. And true, they will. But like I say, probably not fast enough. Probably without avoiding a lot of pain and misery. Children need routines, structure, predictability, and boundaries. And believe it or not, they don't come by these naturally. So we want to also now talk about authoritarian parenting, and this is probably one of the oldest and most widely used parenting approaches. And this is where parents assume the majority of responsibility to control their children from birth to adulthood until their children become independent. And you think about that. When do children get to learn decision making, and how are we teaching them critical thinking and problem-solving skills if we're always telling them what to do and how to do it? All of a sudden, they're going to become an adult, and they're not going to have the tools and skills necessary to make decisions or to problem solve. So now this authoritarian parenting method has parents using their power and authority to take charge and punish the children in order to teach them what to do. Think about that. The parents decide the consequences, and children are expected to show respect by obeying their parents. Authoritarian parenting works best when the goal is for children to learn to be able to follow order and conform to pre-existing standards. Creativity, you can see, is not encouraged, and children are taught to be obedient and to never talk back. Now you think about that, and you think, well, that's great, they're obedient. But there's going to be people out there that will take advantage of this obedience because they've never learned to make their own decisions. And we'll talk about that when we're going through the different stages and phases of getting stuck. So breakthrough parenting is a different approach, and it's neither permissive nor authoritarian. Breakthrough parenting differs from the other in that the responsibility for solving problems is shared between the parent and child. Now, the child is not given permission to decide not to be responsible, but nor are they told exactly what to do. Because you're going to sit there and you're going to be asking them what is their plan on, say, getting their room clean, getting their homework done. They've got a big project. How are they going to do that? What is their plan for getting to bed on time so that they're not tired? So this sort of thing. So this is going to involve their creativity and get them to engage their thought process and critical thinking skills so that they can become problem solvers. So we can discuss with them if they have a plan, and because quite often they're not going to be adept at making plans, so their plan may not work. So you may want to and just when you ask them what their plan is, and they tell you what their plan is, and you can pretty much expect that their plan isn't going to work, you're still going to allow them to try their plan, and then you can help them evaluate it. And we'll go into that in much more detail down the road. But what we will be doing is the parent's job is to help the child attain mastery over the skills that they're going to be learning. You think about it, and how can we possibly expect a 10 or 11-year-old to be perfectly obedient and to have all the skills that they need to be self-sufficient? If they were, then they would be gone. They would be independent adults. Our job as a parent would be done. No, our job as parenting is until they're like 17, 18, 19 years old, because they need that much time to attain mastery over the skills that they're going to need to have a successful life and to be a contributing member of society. And that's only if we impart those skills and values to them. So with breakthrough parenting, the parent and child engage in problem solving until both of them agree on how they're going to get things done. And you're going to acknowledge successes and point out how the various tasks have been accomplished. So you'll say, well done. Say if they're doing their bedroom and you go, well done, you've done an excellent job on your bedroom. You got all the garbage done. Maybe sweep the floor and it's going to look pretty perfect. This approach will continue until it's no longer necessary for you to mention that their room needs to be done, but they're just simply going to be doing it because now they know how to do it. The last thing I want to talk about in this video is discipline versus punishment. Many parents think that they're disciplining their child, but in actuality, they're punishing them. Discipline is to teach by showing how to assume responsibility. Punishment is to control by causing psychological or physical pain. Think about that. So discipline is to teach. Punishment is pain. So how do you know whether you've disciplined your child or if you punish them? You think about an exchange that you've had with them, and if you feel you feel good. Like, I know sometimes you talked about your kids about something, you dealt with it, and you go afterwards, you go,